Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States. He was in office from the year 1977 to 1981. Carter is most well known for his signing of the Chrysler Corporation Loan Guarantee Act of 1979, bailing out Chrysler Corporation, which shows his respect and complete knowledge of the United States' escalating energy crisis. One of his most famous moments consisted of wearing a sweater and delivering a fireside chat about the energy crisis. Jimmy Carter was definitely a president for the people, understanding the issues that are affecting the majority of American families. Although Carter may not have always done the right thing when it came to foreign affairs, he was well educated in the concerns of the home front.
From such a young age, Jimmy Carter showed his determination through his hard work as a peanut farmer. Peanut farming showed him an appreciation for the environment that is later exemplified in the National Energy Policy and the National Park System.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Carter, and I appreciate the environment because I farm peanuts, and I love the land that the peanuts come from. I just rake them up all day long.
Hello, I'm Connie Doonan from Oxford University. As a lifelong resident of Alaska, we learned to appreciate the beauty of our land. I think the peanut industry showed Carter to appreciate the fruits of the land, or should I say nuts. But peanuts aren't really nuts, they're legumes.
Hola, me llamo Rafa Gómez y soy de la España, Universidad de España. Well, at the Universidad de España, I studied United States history with a concentration in Jimmy Carter. Although in España we call him Jimmy Carter. Before he was president, interestingly enough, he was a naval officer. And the governor of Georgia. We do Jimmy. He had a huge, before his presidency, I may add, emphasis on ecology and removal of racial barriers. Although he was little known outside his state of Georgia. So when he was elected as the Democratic candidate in 1974, it was kind of a long shot. You know, people were like, you're not really going to win. We don't really know you, because we're not from Georgia. And he was running against Gerald R. Ford. Interesting.
Hi, my name is Roberta Saget. Ford would have been a much better president than Carter. Carter wasn't experienced enough to take on such an important role. Ford has already been running the country when Nixon resigned, and therefore, Ford had an idea on how to run the country, unlike Carter, who was a newcomer.
So, as many of you know, or hopefully, that Jimmy Carter won the presidency in 1976. But he only won by 56 electoral votes. Some would argue that he was not ready to become the president. What do you think?
Did y'all hear?
Did y'all hear what?
Jimmy Carter won president.
Jimmy Carter. Our hometown Jimmy Carter.
Hi, I'm the Vice President. Working with Carter was an honor. He lowered unemployment rates significantly and was a worldwide activist for human rights. His appreciation for mankind was very great, and he was an integral part of the Department of Education and the Department of Energy.
Oh, hello there! Now, could you give me a little bit of information about Jimmy Carter and the Iran conflict?
Oh yes, I lived through that period, and it was one of those terrible tragedies that happened to a lot of Americans over in the Iranian embassy. In 1976, Jimmy Carter was elected. He beat Gerald Ford, and the country went into a downward spiral from that point on, 76 to 80, because some of the problems that were caused just before Jimmy Carter got elected. We had the Yom Kippur War, and hyperinflation. I bought my house around that time at 10.25% interest rate. The country was not doing well. So in 1980, when that election for the campaign for the re-election happened, there was this terrible thing that happened in 1979 called the Iranian Revolution. What happened basically was the Ayatollah Khomeini took over the country by force, taking it from the Shah, who was supported by the United States, and in result the American embassy was taken over for 444 days, 52 hostages, and the president, Jimmy Carter at the time, could not do anything about it. It was a huge problem for him right at the time of the re-election. Basically what end result was Ronald Reagan was brought into office after an inept attempt to rescue those people with 2 helicopters that crashed in the desert. So it was a very bad time that we all went through as a country, and certainly as a president, Jimmy Carter suffered from it. Jimmy Carter unknowingly, in having this happen, had a group of people that went behind his back and worked for the Reagan administration to fund the Nicaraguan rebels down in South America. It was called the Iran-Contra affair. At the time, Ronald Reagan denied this action, that he was going behind the president's back and making a deal to get the hostages out, but in fact it did happen, and as a result Jimmy Carter was not elected, re-elected in 1980. Ronald Reagan was, and served 2 administrations. So the Iran-Contra affair was basically Ollie North, who worked for the president, lived and worked down in the cellar of White House, while Ronald Reagan was upstairs many times, as his own admission says, napping in the afternoons. And Ollie North basically had a foreign policy program he developed by taking money and giving it to the Contras down in Nicaragua, and as a result tried to fund the anti-communist regime that was trying to take the country back from the communists. The United States government had said basically, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to take money and give outside what we are giving to the Contras, but this extra money came from Iran to help get the hostages out of the Middle East. So it was illegal, went around the Constitution, and caused a major mess. So had Jimmy Carter won the election, perhaps we wouldn't have had the Iran-Contra affair. So it was a very dark moment for American history that this happened.
1994, when during the North Korean conflict involving atomic weapons occurred during Bill Clinton's presidency, Clinton called on Carter to help him with maintaining peace with the North Koreans. Clinton thought that by using Jimmy Carter, Kim Sung would back down. Throughout the years, Carter has helped in making potentially violent conflicts into peaceful resolutions, much like this circumstance. The Nobel Peace Prize Committee awarded him with the prize, saying that Carter was able, quote,
to find peaceful solutions to international conflicts, to advance democracy and human rights, and to promote economic and social development.
This award exemplifies everything that Carter worked for during his lifetime.
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like. Say black, I say white, say black, I say white, say shot, I say hangman, just was me, see that I don't like stars. Say roll, say rush, say God, give me a choice. Say Lord, I say Christ, I don't need Superman, all I wanna do is